My dear sister, if you have ever felt lonely even while surrounded by people, if you have ever cried quietly at night because no one truly understood what you were carrying, if you have ever felt abandoned, unseen, or forgotten, then this message is for you. Not by coincidence, by divine appointment. There are moments in a woman's life when Allah removes people, not to punish her, but to remind her of something she forgot. You were never meant to walk this life depending on hearts that change. You were meant to walk with the one who never leaves. You may feel alone right now, but listen to me carefully. If you are walking with Allah, you are not alone, not in your pain, not in your waiting, not in your struggle. Allah is closer to you than you realize. And what He is doing in your life right now will one day make perfect sense. Stay with me, because today I want to remind you of a truth that will change how you see loneliness forever. A woman who walks with Allah never walks alone. 1. When you walk with Allah, your worth is never questioned. My dear sister, one of the deepest and quietest wounds many women carry is the feeling of not being enough. Not good enough, not beautiful enough, not strong enough, not successful enough, not chosen enough. This feeling does not always come from one big event. It builds slowly over years through comparisons, comments, expectations, and silent disappointments. Society constantly sends messages telling you who you should be, how you should look, how fast you should achieve, and how much you should give before you deserve respect. You are measured by your appearance, your marriage, your career, your productivity, and even how much you sacrifice yourself for others. When you fail to meet these ever-changing standards, you are made to feel invisible or replaceable. But when you walk with Allah, all of that noise begins to lose its power over your heart. Your worth is no longer something you have to prove or earn, it is already settled. It was decided the moment Allah created you with purpose, dignity, and care. Allah did not create you by accident, and He did not create you incomplete. He honored you before the world ever had an opinion about you. Your value does not rise or fall based on people's treatment of you, because it comes from the one who never makes mistakes. Allah does not value you for how much you give people until you are empty. He does not measure you by how much you please others, or how perfectly you fit into society's expectations. He looks at your sincerity when no one is watching, your patience when life is heavy, your effort when you are tired, and your heart when it turns back to Him again and again. Even your struggles matter to Allah. Even your quiet effort counts. Even your unseen sacrifices are recorded. When you truly walk with Allah, something deep inside you begins to heal. You stop begging the world to validate you, because you already know who you belong to. You stop shrinking yourself to be accepted. You stop chasing approval from people who are themselves lost and broken. You realize that being seen by Allah is enough, being known by Allah is enough, being loved by Allah is enough. Even when people misunderstand you, overlook you, or fail to appreciate your worth, Allah sees you completely. He sees your intentions when others judge your actions. He sees your pain when others dismiss it. He sees your effort when others take you for granted. And this awareness removes a heavy loneliness from the soul. You may still walk through life with challenges, but you no longer walk questioning your value. A woman who walks with Allah carries a quiet confidence, not because life is easy, but because her worth is no longer in the hands of people. 2. When you walk with Allah, you are never truly alone. My dear sister, one of the hardest feelings to carry as a woman is loneliness. Not just the loneliness of being physically alone, but the deeper kind, the loneliness of feeling unseen, unheard, and unsupported even when people are around you. Many women sit in rooms full of family, friends, or co-workers, and still feel completely alone inside. They carry responsibilities quietly. They hold pain silently. They smile while their hearts are tired. This kind of loneliness can slowly convince you that you must handle everything by yourself, that no one really understands you, and that asking for support is a weakness. But when you walk with Allah, this belief begins to dissolve. Because walking with Allah means you are never facing life on your own. Allah is not distant from your struggles, and He is not unaware of your emotions. He is closer to you than anyone else could ever be. He knows the thoughts you cannot explain, the tears you wipe away before anyone sees them, and the fears you hide behind strength. Even when you feel isolated from the world, Allah is present with you in every moment. When people fail you, Allah does not abandon you. When relationships change or end, Allah remains constant. When you feel forgotten, Allah remembers you. There are moments when no one checks on you, no one asks how you are truly doing, and no one notices how heavy your heart feels, but Allah never misses a single moment of your struggle. Every sigh, every tear, every silent prayer reaches Him. This awareness slowly fills the emptiness that loneliness creates. Walking with Allah also changes how you experience solitude. Being alone no longer feels like punishment or rejection. It becomes a space where your heart reconnects with its Creator. In your quiet moments, Allah listens. In your confusion, Allah guides. In your sadness, Allah comforts. You may not always hear answers immediately, but you feel a calm presence that reminds you that you are held, protected, and accompanied. A woman who walks with Allah learns that companionship does not always come in human form. Sometimes it comes as peace in the chest, strength in the middle of exhaustion, or patience during long trials. Even if the world walks away, Allah walks beside you. And that companionship is stronger, deeper, and more faithful than anything this world could offer. 3. When you walk with Allah, your heart finds peace, even in uncertainty. My dear sister, one of the greatest struggles a woman faces in this life is uncertainty. Uncertainty about the future, about relationships, about marriage, about children, about finances, about health, about whether her efforts will ever pay off, and about whether her pain will ever make sense. Uncertainty has a way of exhausting the heart because the mind keeps searching for answers that are not yet written. You think ahead, replay the past, imagine worst-case scenarios, and carry fears that may never even happen. Over time, this constant questioning can steal your sleep, drain your energy, and quietly weaken your trust. But when you walk with Allah, uncertainty no longer owns your heart. It may still exist, but it no longer controls you. Walking with Allah teaches you a powerful truth. You were never meant to know everything in advance. Your responsibility is not to figure out the entire path, but to take the next step with trust. When your heart is connected to Allah, it learns how to rest even when answers are missing. You begin to understand that peace does not come from certainty. It comes from reliance. Many women suffer because they believe peace will come once everything is clear, once they are settled, once life makes sense, once they know exactly what will happen next. But Allah teaches us something deeper. He teaches us that peace comes when you trust the one who already knows. When you walk with Allah, you stop demanding explanations for everything that hurts. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And begin asking, what is Allah teaching me through this? That shift alone brings calm into the heart. When something you hoped for is delayed, your heart no longer panics the way it used to. You no longer assume that delay means denial. You learn that Allah delays things out of mercy, not cruelty. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you are not ready for yet. He understands the timing of your healing, your growth, and your strength better than you ever could. Sometimes Allah delays what you want because receiving it too early would have broken you instead of blessing you. When something ends suddenly, when a relationship changes, when a door closes without warning, walking with Allah protects your heart from collapsing. You may still feel pain, but you no longer feel lost. You begin to understand that Allah removes things not to leave you empty, but to protect your heart from attachments that would have drained your peace. What feels like loss today may actually be Allah saving you from a future pain you never saw coming. Walking with Allah also transforms how you face the unknown. You realize that no matter what tomorrow brings, Allah will already be there. If tomorrow brings ease, Allah will teach you gratitude. If tomorrow brings hardship, Allah will give you patience. If tomorrow brings change, Allah will guide you through it step by step. Your heart no longer needs guarantees because it trusts the guide. A woman who walks with Allah learns how to surrender without giving up. She still plans, she still works, she still hopes, but she no longer clings in desperation. She understands that her life is in safe hands. Even when her heart feels tired, she reminds herself that Allah is arranging things beyond her understanding. Even when she feels afraid, she remembers that Allah has never failed her before. This is the peace that comes from walking with Allah. Not a life without problems, but a heart that is no longer shaken by uncertainty. A heart that knows it is being carried, guided, and protected, even when the road ahead is unclear. 4. When you walk with Allah, you are protected even when you don't realize it. My dear sister, there are moments in life when you feel exposed, vulnerable, and unprotected. Moments when you feel like you are standing alone in front of difficulties that are too heavy for your heart. You may feel as though life is hitting you from every direction, while no one truly understands what you are carrying inside. In these moments, it is easy to believe that you have been left to face everything on your own. But when you walk with Allah, there is a protection around you that does not always announce itself loudly. Much of Allah's protection happens quietly, gently, and invisibly. Allah's protection does not always look like things going your way. Sometimes it looks like things not working out. Sometimes it looks like disappointment, rejection, or loss. A relationship ends even though you try to hold it together. A plan fails even though you prayed for it. An opportunity slips away even though you wanted it badly. In those moments, your heart may feel confused and hurt, but walking with Allah teaches you to trust that what did not happen was also part of Allah's care for you. There are people Allah removes from your life, not because you were unworthy of love, but because their presence would have slowly harmed your heart, your faith, or your peace. There are doors Allah closes, not because you were undeserving, but because stepping through them would have taken you away from what was meant for you. At the time, you may cry over what you lost, but later you often realize what Allah saved you from. This is a form of protection that only becomes clear with time. When you walk with Allah, He protects you from burdens you are not meant to carry. He protects your heart from attachments that would have drained your soul. He protects your faith from environments that would have weakened it. He protects your future from paths that look appealing but lead to pain. Even when you do not understand why something is taken away, Allah understands the full picture of your life. Allah's protection also surrounds you in ways you cannot see. He shields you from harm you never knew was approaching. He places barriers between you and what would have broken you. He redirects your steps away from danger, even when you think you are walking towards something good. Many times the reason you are still standing today is because Allah intervened in ways you were unaware of. A woman who walks with Allah learns to trust this unseen protection. She may still feel pain, but she does not feel abandoned. She understands that Allah is not only the one who comforts her after hardship, but the one who prevented many hardships from ever reaching her. This trust brings a quiet strength into her heart. Even when life feels uncertain, she knows that Allah is guarding her, guiding her, and watching over her in every moment. 5. When you walk with Allah, you stop begging for love and respect. My dear sister, one of the most painful struggles a woman can experience is the desire to be loved, chosen, and valued, and the fear of being abandoned or replaced. Many women stay in situations that exhaust them emotionally because they are afraid of being alone. They accept coldness, neglect, disrespect, or inconsistency because a small amount of attention feels better than emptiness. Over time, this slowly damages the heart and weakens self-respect, even though the woman may not realize it at first. But when you walk with Allah, something powerful changes within you. Your heart begins to understand what real love feels like. Allah's love is not unstable or conditional. It does not disappear when you make mistakes. It does not humiliate you or make you feel small. It does not demand that you abandon your dignity to be accepted. When your heart tastes Allah's love, you no longer feel desperate for validation from people because you are already held by the most loving. Walking with Allah teaches you that love should not cost you your peace. It should not leave you anxious, constantly questioning where you stand or whether you are enough. It should not require you to tolerate behavior that hurts your heart or pulls you away from your values. You begin to understand that staying in situations where you are disrespected is not loyalty, it is self-neglect. Allah never asks you to sacrifice your dignity to keep someone in your life. As your connection with Allah strengthens, your boundaries become clearer. You stop chasing people who do not choose you. You stop explaining your worth to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop overgiving in the hope that someone will finally see your value. Instead, you learn to step back with calmness and trust that what is meant for you will come without you having to beg for it. Walking with Allah also frees your heart from fear. You no longer fear being alone the way you once did, because you know that being alone with Allah is far better than being surrounded by people who drain your soul. You understand that loneliness with dignity is healthier than companionship that breaks you. This realization brings a quiet confidence into your life. You become selective, not cold. You become calm, not detached. You become peaceful, not empty. A woman who walks with Allah does not chase love. She attracts what aligns with her values. She knows that Allah will never deprive her of what is truly good for her. And if something leaves her life, she trusts that Allah is making space for something better, something safer, and something that will honor her heart instead of hurting it. 6. When you walk with Allah, your pain is never meaningless. My dear sister, pain is something no woman escapes in this life. It comes in many forms: emotional wounds, broken relationships, betrayal, loss, disappointment, exhaustion, unfulfilled dreams, and silent struggles that no one else sees. Sometimes the pain is loud and sudden, other times it is quiet and long-lasting, settling deep in the heart and shaping how you see yourself and the world. Many women carry this pain while continuing to fulfill their responsibilities, smiling for others while feeling broken inside. But when you walk with Allah, pain is never meaningless. It is never random, and it is never ignored. Allah does not allow a single tear to fall without purpose. Even the pain you do not understand is working for you in ways you cannot yet see. Walking with Allah teaches you that hardship is not a sign of being unloved. It is often a sign of being cared for in a deeper way. Allah uses pain to purify the heart, strengthen the soul, and redirect your life toward what is better for you. There are times when pain comes to detach your heart from what it relied on too much. There are times when it comes to wake you up from illusions you were holding on to. There are times when it comes to soften a heart that has been hardened by life. Allah knows exactly how much pain your heart can handle, and He never pushes you beyond your capacity. Even when you feel like you are at your limit, Allah is sustaining you with strength you did not know you had. Walking with Allah also changes how you carry pain. You may still feel it deeply, but you no longer feel alone in it. You learn how to take your pain to Allah instead of letting it poison your heart. You turn your tears into dua. You turn your confusion into surrender. You turn your exhaustion into trust. Over time, you begin to notice that pain no longer destroys you the way it once did. It refines you, it matures you, it brings you closer to Allah. Some pain comes to close doors that needed to be closed. Some pain comes to remove people who were never meant to walk with you forever. Some pain comes to prepare you for a role, a strength, or a future you could not have carried before. Even when the reason is unclear, walking with Allah allows you to trust that He is not breaking you. He is shaping you. A woman who walks with Allah may be tested, but she is never abandoned. Her pain is seen, recorded, and rewarded. Allah replaces what is lost with something better, if not in this life, then in the next. And this understanding gives her the strength to endure, heal, and continue walking forward with hope instead of bitterness. 7. When you walk with Allah, you carry a strength that never leaves you. My dear sister, there is a kind of strength that fades when circumstances change, when people leave, or when life becomes difficult. And then there is a strength that remains steady no matter what you face. This second kind of strength is the strength Allah places in the heart of a woman who walks with Him. It is not loud, it is not aggressive, it does not seek attention. It is quiet, grounded, and deeply rooted in trust. This strength does not come from controlling life. It comes from surrendering to Allah while continuing to move forward. When you walk with Allah, your strength is no longer dependent on people's presence or approval. You no longer collapse when someone disappoints you because your foundation was never built on them. You may feel pain, but you do not lose yourself. You may feel weak at times, but you are never defeated. Allah teaches your heart how to bend without breaking, how to endure without becoming bitter, and how to remain soft without becoming fragile. This strength shows itself most clearly during moments when no one sees you. When you choose patience instead of reacting, when you choose dignity instead of revenge, when you choose faith instead of despair, when you continue to pray even though answers feel delayed, when you continue to trust even though your heart feels tired. Walking with Allah trains your soul to rise quietly above chaos instead of being consumed by it. As you walk with Allah, you also learn that strength does not mean carrying everything alone. True strength is knowing when to place your burdens in Allah's hands. It is knowing when to say, Ya Allah, I cannot do this without you, and truly meaning it. Allah does not weaken you through reliance. He strengthens you through it. Every time you turn back to Him, your heart becomes steadier, your vision clearer, and your steps more confident. Over time, this strength begins to shape how you move through the world. You speak with calm instead of fear. You walk away from what harms you without guilt. You remain kind without allowing yourself to be mistreated. You trust Allah's timing without panicking. Even when life tests you, you do not lose your sense of direction because your heart knows where it belongs. A woman who walks with Allah carries a strength that does not disappear when life becomes heavy. It grows stronger through hardship, deeper through patience, and brighter through faith. She may walk through storms, but she is never lost in them. Allah is with her in every step, and that companionship becomes her greatest source of strength. My dear sister, if there is one truth you carry with you after listening to all of this, let it be this: when you walk with Allah, you are never abandoned, never unseen, and never unsupported. Life will still test you, people will still disappoint you, plans will still change. There will be days when your heart feels heavy and nights when your tears fall quietly. But through all of it, Allah remains with you, closer than anyone else could ever be. Walking with Allah does not mean a life without pain. It means a life where pain does not destroy you. It means your worth is settled, your loneliness is comforted, your uncertainty is held, your losses are protected, your love is purified, your pain is meaningful, and your strength is lasting. Even when the world turns away, Allah does not. Even when you feel tired, Allah carries you. Even when you feel lost, Allah guides you back to Him. My dear sister, keep walking with Allah in your choices, in your silence, in your healing, and in your waiting. Walk with Him when you feel strong, and walk with Him when you feel weak. Walk with Him when life makes sense, and walk with Him when nothing does. Because a woman who walks with Allah never walks alone, and that companionship is more than enough for any heart. May Allah fill your heart with peace, strengthen your faith, protect your path, and always remind you that you are under His care. Ameen.